Hey, enLIGHTeners, Nathan Cohen here, and we are excited to be back for yet another Light Shine moment. Today, we're doing things just a little bit different. You may know all of these gentlemen that's sitting behind me. We have not been together in over 4 years, but I have the guys of the industry. We were fortunate to be a part of another franchise, but now we have our own franchises that we can motivate and encourage you. Jarvis Mays, Javis Mays, and Reginald Prince. We're all back together again. Fellas, how y'all doing?
I'm good.
Good. So today we're going to give you some topics of motivation, some topics of encouragement to really get your day started. And I think hearing it from these gentlemen is really going to spark another level of interest that will definitely not lead you wrong and lead you to a better path of success. So I'm going to start with my brother Jarvis Mays on the topic of being proactive. Jarvis, as it relates to being proactive, how can you say that you implement that or apply that to your own personal life and shed some light on that very topic?
When I think about proactive, I think about being a hustler. I think about being forward moving, forward thinking. I usually know my day before it actually happens. Like the day before, I kind of like figure out what's going to happen, you know, the following day. I already have ideas. My calendar is already booked. You just have to be aggressive with your life, your schedule, everything that you're doing. You need to know it. You can't communicate what's happening with you to others if you don't already foresee what's happening yourself. So I would say that I live a proactive life. I'm always planning, I'm always moving, and actually, before it's actually manifested, I've already completed it in my head. That's proactive. That's the way I live. That's basically how my life goes daily.
Ask yourself, how are you going to be proactive today throughout the course of your life? What exactly are you going to do to be ahead of the game? You want to think in front, keep yourself in front of the 8 ball, not necessarily be in the backseat watching everyone else do what they're doing. Instead of you being proactive, you're being reactive. You don't want to be a reactive individual, but you really want to definitely be in front of what it is that you're trying to do. So from being proactive, there is a portion to that you want to make sure that you apply to your life, and that's actually being authentic. And so authenticity is a very strong component that some people actually miss out on because they're seeing things on social media and they're seeing things and they're trying to predicate their lives after the things that they see on Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat, et cetera, but the authenticity is a strong piece that you must apply to your daily life. Reginald, when it comes down to authenticity, how have you applied that to your life and make your level of success be apparent through that?
You know what? I had to realize first and foremost that I reached a point in my life where I couldn't figure out why I wasn't having the type of success that I needed, or that I realized that with success, there has to be reality. There has to be realness, and you have to be authentic. So success wasn't going to come the way that I wanted it to, or the way that I thought that it should come, simply because I wasn't real with me. Wow. You know, I was someone that was bending and contorting to fit other people's narratives of who I should be or who they thought I had to live my life or whatever. And it wasn't until the moment that I discovered meditation, which is, the meditation and prayer are very similar principles, so it's really no difference. But when I really found meditation, I understood that I was doing a disservice to myself and I was dishonoring God. Yeah. Because to try to fit somebody else's narrative of who you should be is a disservice to yourself, and it's a dishonor to God, because the God designed you a certain way to be who you are, not to be somebody else. So when I stepped into who I was and became the authentic me, my authentic self, then everything started to open up and manifestations started to happen that had never happened before. So before you can want success or expect success, rather, you have to be real with who you are, and you have to be authentic. You can't be somebody else, because that somebody else already has that market on lock. Absolutely. You understand what I'm saying? Be you. Yeah. Be authentic. Own who you are. Walk boldly in who you are, and just simply be authentic.
That's good. That's good.
Authenticity. So even with all of that, my challenge to you is that you're not a carbon copy. There's so many individuals in the world that are trying to be someone that they're not, or trying to be something or trying to emulate something that they've seen again. And if you've seen previous LIGHTshine moments, you know that we have talked about identity and not being a carbon copy of what someone else has already done. So be true to yourself. There's a statement, there's a saying that says, to thine own self be true. So with that, as you move forward through your daily life, make it your business, make it your personal mantra to be authentic in every phase, in every step of your life, and watch how the doors really open up for you. Last but definitely not least, with all that, being proactive, having authenticity, there has to be a certain level of commitment that is required with that. Commitment and consistency goes hand in hand. Javis Mays, when it comes down to being committed, and you out of all people know that level of commitment because of what you do as far as your career. Your career is not the corporate career like ours might be. You as an entrepreneur and setting the trajectory of your own life has to have a certain level of commitment that supersedes many others. When it comes down to commitment and being proactive and being authentically you, how do you approach that in your day-to-day life?
I think with commitment, you have to be able to eliminate excuses, because in commitment, you're being obligated to something or someone, and that may mean, getting a planner so that you can actually make sure that you do eliminate those excuses. Like you said, having a business and traveling and doing ministry and having a corporate job as well, and having a personal contract for the state. You have all these different things going on. People don't want to hear excuses when you've made promises or you've committed to something. So I think that for the first thing you could do is commit to yourself.
Yes.
Commit to who you are, commit to being the best that you can be, and then, allow that best person that you are to be fruitful in the other areas that you've committed to.
Absolutely.
I think when you do that, then you'll be excited about where you're going. You'll see the fruit of that commitment. Sometimes commitment doesn't start with big things. It can start with changing daily routines, or instead of trying to be the muscle man, you can say, you know what, I'm gonna take a walk for 20 minutes a day, or I'm gonna change. I won't eat as much meat or as much carbs, just simple minor things that you can do. It can start in a diet, it can start with prayer, it can start with, just being the best that you can be. But I think that that's important, start with small commitments.
Absolutely. Did you hear the word that he said, excuses? Something that I learned back in the day was excuses are the tools of the incompetent, which are monuments of nothing. So you want to be mindful of the excuses. Matter of fact, rid yourself of the excuses. Rid yourself of the word can't. Extract that out of your vocabulary. The word can't should not come out of your mouth. If you're unable to do something, we're all human. Okay? So kind of keep that in the forefront of your mind. There are some very pivotal points to that level of commitment. Commitment, consistency, all of that goes hand in hand, but at the end of the day, it starts with you.
Right.
Okay? Success starts with the second letter, you. Okay, so keep that in mind, that level of commitment, being proactive. As you can see, it was a stepping stone. You have to be proactive. From being proactive, you have to be authentically you. From being authentically you, there has to be a commitment to put all of that together. You can't have a cake and not have all of the necessary ingredients. The cake that we have is called life. So with that, again, being proactive, authenticity, commitment, and I'm going to give you the last ingredient of that cake. Remember your why. So as you go through your day, each and every day, remember the reason you're doing what you're doing. Don't do it just because this person is doing it or that person is doing it, but do it because it's something you want to do. If you know your why, that can lead you to your why. So as you move forward, just be mindful that whatever you set out to do today, it's able to be accomplished if you know your why.
That's good.
All right? So again, these are just some nuggets that we wanted to share with you. I'm glad to have my brothers back with me yet again. and there's a lot more that's coming for all of us individually and collectively, but we want you to be a part of it. So again, I'm going to make sure we stack this real good. All right, being proactive, all right, authenticity, commitment, and remembering your why. If you have these key components, your life has no choice but to be successful. Absolutely. All right. With all of these nuggets that we have provided to you, these are just some additional ways that you can continue to let your light shine.
Hey enLIGHTeners, Nathan Cohen here. Listen, have you been enjoying these Light Shine moments? Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and do not forget to turn on your notifications. That way, these Light Shine moments can be coming directly to you. Remember, no matter what, continue to let your light shine.